Hey everybody, what's going on? It's John. Welcome back to the farm. Well, it's a little overcast and crummy right now. Pigs are a little spirited because they think it's time to eat. It is probably low 40s, right at 40 degrees out here right now. So not too bad, especially earlier when the sun was shining. Not even a couple inches, maybe an inch of snow the last few days. Really cold temperatures though. We had that other, Alberta Clippers on my mind, but whatever those weathermen call that crap when all the cold air comes down out of Canada and freaking drops temperatures pretty bad. It wasn't as bad as it was back in early January, but it was cold the last few days. Anyway, I'm trying to take advantage, one, of me having some time off, and two, the lack of wind and reasonable temperatures to get going back on this greenhouse, because we're starting to get into seed starting time. Now, normally here in Northern Virginia, here in the Shenandoah Valley, we do not plant our garden till after, early June. I always get Memorial Day and Labor Day mixed up on the calendar. Obviously, not the same holiday. Um, but it's getting to that point where we should be starting seeds and getting our starts going, getting ready to get things in the garden. Uh, so that's what I'm trying to do. Now, you remember when I put the pad in, obviously way bigger than we needed for the greenhouse. But we're probably going to take, I think it's 10 by 14. So we're going to have a little gravel on this side of it, doors here, and then we'll have to do some finagling, but we should have room over here to put our picnic table and some of that stuff. Sorry, I'm swinging y'all around here on the tripod. Piled up a little extra rock right here because when I dig that part out, I want to push some gravel into that, and then we'll build up a little bit inside the greenhouse. Now for the base, we walk over here to the old family truckster. I got some 4x6. I wanted to do 6x6, but it was, I ain't gonna say it was cost prohibitive, but the more I looked at it, I was like, it's really not buying me anything to squeeze another inch and a half out of this board. This will be plenty wide enough to put the base of the greenhouse on and secure it to. So I got a tamper to try to get some of this stuff compacted down. And then I was looking for some screws to do the joins on these boards. Now, I think the greenhouse is going to be 10 by 14. So these are 12-foot boards. These were the longest I could get in the 4x6. And then I got 8-foot. So probably more than I needed, which is fine. These two boards are going to be for the 10-foot side. Just chop these off. We'll have, good 10-foot lengths to use, give or take an inch or so. And then for the back and the front, we'll use the 8-footers, and then I ain't gonna do a full-blown scarf joint, but I ain't gonna butt them up, but I'll probably cut a couple 45s and join them that way. It doesn't need to be perfect. Like I said, if I can get the ground good and level, the best I have is a 4-foot level, which should be perfectly fine. It doesn't have to be perfect, folks. We are homeowners here. We ain't building the freaking Taj Mahal. The big thing is we do get some winds around here, like the breeze is picking up right now. Last time I put a greenhouse together on this property, we had a stiff breeze come through. I was like, hey man, I'm gonna run inside and grab me some water because it was hot. I'd bought this greenhouse off Marketplace, didn't have any instructions, which is fine because, right? We can figure stuff out. And I was putting it together, had a couple panels slid in. I came back out and it had flipped that greenhouse and tied it into all kinds of knots. I was like, oh, I just brought this thing home and I'm putting it together and now it's ruined. It was aluminum. I whooped on it a little bit and gently bent things back into place. And we've had that greenhouse, which is just sitting right there. It ain't much to look at. It's well dirty. We had some chickens in there at one point. In wintertime, if you watched our videos from way back when the hen hatched the clutch of chickens right over here, and during winter, and she was getting snowed on, and we had to do something with them. We put them inside the greenhouse. Anyway, they doing what chickens do, funked it all up, and it is still funky. Anyway, it turned that thing into a pretzel. Got it straightened back out, and it's been sitting there for, man, 7 years now. So, you know, it was a good purchase. It was missing one panel, and I had to jerry rig some stuff there but man, it's been a good greenhouse. So we're really looking forward to the one we have. You know, it's made of the finest Chinesium, so it's off the webs. Here's what the greenhouse is going to look like when it's all said and done. A couple sliding doors. I think they're sliders. They may hinge open. There's integrated gutters in it. I think there's 4 windows and probably a couple vents on the roof. Maybe not. Doesn't matter if we don't have vents on the roof. I don't think they're that big of a deal. Once again, this isn't a commercial production greenhouse. Unimpressed with the instructions, as you can imagine. Quality control isn't what it used to be. You know, you just have to look at the pictures and use your imagination. If you've assembled some stuff before, you know, you'll probably be all right with knocking this out. But yeah, you see right here, like we're talking about part D114, and right here it's D144. I mean, that's on the next line. Come on, folks. So once again, quality control, but no big deal. My plan today is to just, one, figure out just how big this base is going to be. So I'll assemble these pieces. They can lay out here tonight. They're not going to go anywhere. I'll start working on the wood, getting that laid out. Then I'm going to work on leveling where those boards are going to go. So we're still downhill that way a little bit. I can see it just standing here. A little hump right there, but I got my shovel and stuff. The tractor's right there if I need to bring it in to do anything, but we should be able to get this laid out fairly quickly, do some tamping, get everything down. Once I get it squared up, you know, we'll do some quick measurements. Yeah, and then it's hooking and jabbing from there. It's time to rock and roll. And tomorrow, if the weather's nice and I can get the emotional support crew out here to help me, because they say it's a 2-man job, putting that one together. There's times when it's nice just to have an extra set of hands. I could probably do this by myself. I really don't want to, especially when it comes to putting the roof on. And then it's always, you know, just the go for work. You know, I need this part or that part, and we'll bring all the parts up when we start assembling this. They're still down in the basement. So I think I was going to talk about these, forgot to do it. So I was looking for some long screws to join those 4x with, and found these Timberlock screws, structural wood screws. So I was going to use some lag screws. This looks like a good replacement. We'll see if anybody has any experience with these. Let me know. But yeah, I'll just drive those puppies in and we'll go from there. It ain't going as planned. Some of it is, some of it ain't. We got some finagling to do. Well, everybody, as you can tell, things did not go to plan. So I've been bringing in a little bit more stone. We're going to slide the greenhouse to the right. So I'm trying to build that up. When we were looking, we were probably about 6 inches low, maybe a little less, 3 or 4 inches low on that side. So, and I got in here and just absolutely dug up some of the weed barrier, and just, you know, there's a reason I don't do this for a living. So anyway, I got the tractor here still. I just brought a few more scoops of stone over, really built up that back corner. I'm gonna try to get this leveled out just a little bit more, and hopefully we'll start with a little smoother of a foundation. The big pile of crap I put there for the original spot turned out to be, well, it would have been fine if we had left the greenhouse there, but anyway, I jacked it all up and I'm in the process of trying to fix it. So it's starting to get dark here. I'm gonna call it here shortly. I gotta get my tools picked up and some more feed put away. The geese say good morning. Peek around here, it's above freezing now. And I'm back out here picking up where I left off yesterday. Warm the tractor up and maybe put a little bit more stone down. 4 or 5 inches low in that corner. And when I looked at it last night, I just laid the level across there. I was probably only 3/4 to an inch, which is definitely manageable. A lot better than it was. And we may have a little roll here. Working on these hills. Good times. So for the back line of the greenhouse, it's 14 feet. 12 foot's the longest I could get these boards in. Get on it, buddy. So I am going to make some 45s on this one to tie the corners in, and then I'm going to just scarf a couple of these boards together. Not really cutting any kind of scarf joint per se, but I think this will be perfectly fine for what we're using this for. It'll, it'll take a few of those screws I got and tie these boards together. What I'll probably do is go get me a piece of scrap 2x4 and I'll put it in the top and keep them nice and tight and steady, and then I'll screw those other screws in. So this is an 8-foot piece here, and I'll have another, piece that I'll cut and tie into this that'll give us the length we need to run the back and the front. We'll see how it goes. Now, I was debating for the front piece to use this 12-footer since we're going to have the doors on that side. What I don't want is this joint right where the doors are. It's for the aesthetics of it, I guess. But we'll see. That's a problem for Murph here in a little bit to solve. Nope, battery's getting low. Surprisingly, it's all lining up really well. So the big question is, are we going to be able to flip that foundation and get those spikes down into the ground? The instructions say if you don't put this on soft dirt, to make sure those are facing up, which is kind of how we're putting this together. It looks remarkably ridiculous that way. I don't know how it's going to look when panels and stuff start getting put on, so we'll have to see. Working on the front now. That is, I hate to say it, I'm about 1/2 inch off. I'm guessing. I'm just measuring it by eye, of course. I am a fisherman, and we can tell size and weight just by looking at it. 12 inches is pretty easy to measure. So, 1/2 inch is easy to extrapolate from that. One more board left to do. Everything seems to be fitting how we want it to fit. So, yeah, I just took a lunch break. Y'all can tell I was looking a little thin. Well, I don't move as fast as I used to, but that's a foundation that's in, and we're ready to erect the greenhouse. So this is pretty square, pretty level. I mean, there's maybe a few adjustments we have to make as we go through, But I think for the most part, this is it's looking really good. Hey folks, it's John. We're back out here on the farm. It is Saturday, actually, 1st of March, huh? How about that? We made it. So here's the, if you watch the short I put out the other night in the dark, this is where we got to. Now, the plan for today was to start putting the panels in and, turn it into a greenhouse, get the roof on. But we got high wind warning today. I think it's not steady wind right now. We probably got 8-10 mile an hour gusts coming, but they say we could see over 30 mile an hour gusts today. It's just not really, worth risking trying to put this together with the winds like that. Because like I said, you'll get a 50 mile an hour come out of nowhere, and next thing you know, stuff is just gone. But just kind of show you around here. Pretty simple process to put this greenhouse together. You have these anchor pieces, as best thing I can call them. The aluminum slides onto those. It's connected by some screws. These little nuts and bolts were a pain in the behind, and I think we might have one spot around here, right here, where we have looks like I need to push that in some to get this lined up so we can get the nut and bolt in it. But I mean, it's pretty rigid for the most part. It's it's looking pretty good. Now, what I want to do today, since we have this wind, is I got some trim, so I'm going to border this gravel bed and go ahead and get that area, get the perimeter lined out here, and then I can bring some more stone over, probably put a little more stone inside here, and then clean this up, get this somewhat leveled out. I got a big hump of gravel right here, but it'll just give this a little more formal of a space instead of having, like it looks right now. So no big deal. I'll work on that a little bit, run the tractor some. I got like 900 pounds of feed in the back of the truck. I need to get unloaded. And then tomorrow they are saying that the weather's going to be pretty good. So I should be able to get out here and, with the help of the girls, go ahead and get this greenhouse knocked out. Said first thing, got to get those panels in. Don't want to be fighting the wind with that. But once we get those in, it's just getting the roof on and get the doors put on. And, freaking rock and roll. It's looking good though. I tell you, it's quite a sight from down there in the drive to look up here and see this greenhouse. It's a lot bigger than our old one. It's probably double the size, maybe a little bit bigger than that. And we did a lot of damage in the old greenhouse, so Amanda did a lot of starts. So, and then, just coming back from the barn, it's really going to dominate the space, and it looks good from the house looking up across the garden. So we still have to, where we thought the greenhouse would sit on this side, we got to fill this spot back in the wall, which is not a big deal. And then we'll make an opening here and figure out some steps. But yeah, we're getting there. Anyway, that's kind of the big update. It's been pretty simple to put this together. Like I said, don't look at the instructions and take them as understand there's going to be some mistakes in there with the numbering on some of the parts. Was not that big of an issue. Might be a little confusing for a few minutes, and then you realize that the numbers aren't matching up the way they're supposed to, and then you just look at the pictures and rock and roll. Everything's been here. Everything's been well packaged so far. Nothing has been damaged. We did scratch a panel on the door, so they do scratch easily. I was a little disappointed in that, but stuff happens. And it's, at the end of the day, it's not that big of a deal. It's a greenhouse, going to live outside. Ultimately, it's probably going to get a little scratched. It just ain't a whole lot you can do about it. So yeah, the roof I think is going to be so high. Maybe, I mean, it's going to be high enough that you know, it'll handle snow load. It's going to be able to handle the winds around here. I think I read some people said they've seen 80, 90 mile an hour winds with one of these and no problems. We do see that type of wind around here. We didn't really get much from hurricane this year. Hurricane winds traditionally haven't been that bad out here. Like I said, we just get crazy winds that blow down through these mountains, down into these valleys, and they'll be cooking. It'll pick your stuff up and take it, you know, a mile away before you know it. And we've had some winds lately. There's trash all over the place. But yeah, anyway, I'm just rambling now, so I think I'm going to get my truck moved, get the bedding or the trend edge stuff out of the back, and get it staged for unload and feed, and then I'll come back up here and start working on this. And I'll just check back in with y'all here in a bit. Y'all don't need to watch me freaking hammer stuff in the ground and move gravel. A couple hours makes that wind has not died down, and it got a little chilly out here. It's getting cold fast, you know, compared to, it was 51 degrees when we woke up this morning, and I think it's in the, sorry, moving stuff around here, I think it's in the 40s now. And yeah, I mean, it's still going pretty good. The wind is anyway. But we got some of the border stuff up, and it's not really going to do anything other than contain the stone that we're putting in. So I'm about to hop on the tractor and dump some more of that, and then I go out and check on these cows and make sure they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. Running a tractor, I thought something was just wrong. Something was off with my land plane. And I just got back here and looked at it, and I've lost a bolt. So this right here is not attached anymore. So I'm gonna have to get me a nut and bolt there and get that squared away. always feeding time when you're a pig. What are y'all doing? Come on. Let me lead y'all to the promised land. See, I was pulling that land plane right here today, missing that bolt. Still did an all right job. Y'all come on. I'm old and fat, Meriwether. You know what I'm saying? I get y'all down that lower pasture, y'all ain't gonna know what to think. Come on, Charming. Don't dally. I just hope one of them doesn't decide to run up on me here. Take my bucket. Come on, bud. Come on, mama. Take you down here where the good stuff is. So I got them blocked into this, well, see, I got this blocked off from the pigs. Hey, Charming, buddy, come on. You got to go around the other way. Come on, mama. You just never know. Look at that fresh bale of hay right there. Boy, they're going to tear into that. I mean, if I was a cow, my mouth would be watering. Looks like I've seen a couple of flakes of snow. It sure ain't cold enough for that. But yummy, yummy, yummy. Yeah, whatever. Well, I guess I'm gonna sit here and wait, so I won't make y'all suffer with me. I'll tune you back in if these cows ever decide to come down that hill. If I could get them in this back paddock, I would lock them in there, and that would be that. I don't know where Charming's going now. He's just a freaking goof. That's Gilbert. Gilbert's going to be going to a local farm. At least that's the plan right now. He turned out to be a good-looking boy. He's a BH Tutaki. His dad was a nice-looking pig. He has since moved on. And the owners that had him when he passed are interested in this guy. What are you doing, simple one? Yeah, it does look like some snow coming through there. I don't know if the camera will pick it up. It doesn't feel cold enough to be snowing. Why are you all pawing at the ground and chomping? Huh? Crazy old pig. What, you eating them leaves? You're all worked up. Well, step one is complete. Did you let him know who's boss? I think you spotted that bale of hay down there. This is where I got to be careful. He doesn't jack my shit up. He gets a little spirited. Whew. At least I'm going downhill now. Hold on, buddy. I hear you. I'm gonna let you through that gate. You see that bale of hay over there? Here, I'm gonna walk around. Yep. It'd be crazy. Hold on, bud. Come on, dude. Come on. Promised land, we got you right here. Come on. Come on. You just think you want the bucket. You want what's over here in this feeder. Come on. only say come on a million damn times. Come on, bud. Hey. Look at this. Come on. You can do it. It ain't gonna steal your spirit, bud. Come on. You're gonna knock that off, ain't you? Look at this right here. The tenderest of victuals. Them pigs are coming, dude. There you go. That's what I needed right there. Let's see if I can get Miss Merriweather to join you. He's a lot bigger than he looks. He's freaking strong too. I wouldn't reach down there and grab him. All right, I think she's about sorted out here. She sees him eating. Come on, mama. Here, let me see if I can set y'all up somewhere. Y'all can watch the escapades. Come on, big girl. You'll make me walk up this hill? Y'all look happy. Y'all remember how to get y'all's water, I'm sure. Open up this gate for y'all. That was not too bad. Mama's over there having her some hay. Y'all miss Charming jumping and bucking around. Looks like he's got some hay on his horns there. Freaking swamp thing going on. This sweater's got my nose running. Yeah, I'm gonna walk past you here, dude. Don't get me. Big old fox squirrel just run over here. He was a whopper. All right, y'all are settled. Doing my checks here. Gate is open. Gate is open. Gate is closed. They got water. One cow. Oh, oh, oh. Two cows. Oh, oh, oh. For those of you that go back that far. Now, they probably could have used this bell a couple days ago. Yeah, maybe not even that long, but they do a good job of eating down the other ones if I leave them on it for a couple extra days. Ain't that right, Wiz Kid? I guess we'll see y'all back out here again tomorrow. We'll see if we can get that greenhouse done. I'm gonna climb this mountain. Make sure all these gates up here are where they're supposed to be and get out of this cold. I've had enough of it. Well, here we are. It is Sunday and the weather is just right for greenhousing. We got a slight breeze on occasion. Nothing like it was yesterday. So we'll be just fine getting this greenhouse going. So it's probably about 11:30. I've been waiting. Obviously the sun's shining, but it's been cold this morning. It was in the low 20s. So just got the chill out of the air. It's right above freezing right now. So girls just getting home. Let's quit talking. Get a little fabric down. Get this finished today. Get these panels in. I have to go get those out of the basement. And yeah, then we're putting a roof up and it's gonna be awesome. All right, folks. Sun has gone down. We're loading up trash. We got a bag full. So one cool thing about this greenhouse is there's gutters all the way around it. And you can put a little downspout here to fill a rain barrel. And we got 4 rain barrels floating around here that we've had forever. Anyway, it's been a gorgeous day. So I guess next time I turn the camera on, we'll come out here and kind of show you around when it's not dark. I'm anxious to see how this looks from down at the drive there, because it's a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. Anyway, it's good to have this done, and well, using my air quotes, done. Anyway, we'll catch y'all here again shortly. One down. Yeah, I'm lucky I didn't lose this one too. Now, I found the bolt on the ground. I was over here doing some work with it, and I hit that pile of rocks right there off to the right of the trampoline. And I thought something sounded weird. I got out and I found the bolt on the ground, and just left it alone. I mean, I picked the bolt up, but didn't start investigating. And then the other day I got here and got to looking, and it's like, oh, that's what it was. So, perfect timing. I need to use this now. So, that's fixed. I just got to get my top link hooked back up. And then, yeah, we're ready to rock and roll. I'm looking at the instructions here, and the very last page 36. During the installation of endurance boards. I don't know what endurance board is. I'm assuming they're talking about those panels. We're supposed to install that stripping. Well, we're done. Stripping is the last thing we have to do, so I take it it's not going to matter that we're going to install this now. But that is going around. Looks like all the lower panels. The top panels are pretty tight. So we got a few little odds and ends to work out for the downspouts, but that's trivial stuff. If you go over there or you hear the wind blow, you'll hear those panels rattle. So as soon as we get this stripping in, it should alleviate that. And then we're, air quotes here, done. And then I think we just need to keep an eye on it for a little while and make sure we're checking nuts and bolts and make sure nothing's coming loose, or it'll be like my tractor. We'll be having to buy some pieces and parts to put this thing back together. And then I got a couple more screws to put in on the hinges just to finish them off. I got my drill though. I can do that now. Anyway, she's looking good. It's hot in there. I had to open the doors and crack the windows. It was freaking smoking in that puppy. A little more stone to move around. We're starting to kind of set things up and see how it looks. Table and chairs fits good. Amanda got everything out of the little greenhouse in anticipation of it leaving soon. Moved it all in here. It's amazing how much she had packed away in that thing. Of course, it's wintertime and it was basically just storage. So I closed back in the... I made a mess there. I closed back in the opening we had and opened this one up right here in front of the doors. kind of get a look, come out of the greenhouse and right down into the garden. Eventually get those steps lined out. And right now I'm just moving around. Like I said, some of this stone, this still needs to get built up a little bit right here. And then we'll call this good for now. It's supposed to rain on Wednesday, and we're supposed to get a pretty good one, so I think it'll be nice to get this rained on and clean it up a little bit, pack it down. But yeah, this is turning out pretty good. I mean, it's just like everything else we do around here. You know, we do the best we can, and it's never going to be perfect, but we'll eventually get there, and it'll look good. I'm sure we'll fight some weeds this year, especially along this rock wall where you really can't get the fabric up into it. But you know, there's techniques for that, and that don't involve Roundup and things along those lines. So you see where I got that over there built up a little bit more. That's kind of how it'll look coming across here. Just a few inches higher than what this is now. But we just tended the farm. Clara, Diesel, and I. So that was mildly amusing. With Diesel decided he would get into the side-by-side and ride at front with Clara, so I got to ride in the back. No big deal. Anyway, let me quit yakking and get this shovel going. This rock ain't gonna move itself.